Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Real Raw and Uncut. On this channel, we review books, movies, articles, and films. And everything on here is live and taken in one shot. Nothing for the most part is edited. The purpose is such that we can all engage and have a dialogue and to make this feel as real and as authentic as possible. Okay, so we will be continuing our book, the book we've been looking at, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. And specifically, we'll be looking at the next 45 pages. So from around pages 181 to pages 225. So I did not take too many notes. Quite a few scenes happened in these next 45 pages, but I took maybe, actually not really much notes. I did write down some vocabulary words, which I thought was pretty interesting here. So in terms of themes here, we have more mundane, normal life. So like the holidays, what it's like as a child to grow up, experience the holidays. So in this case, Francie and other children her age and her brother Neely, as well as education. So that's actually one of the things I would like to expand on here more. And I'll read a particular section of the book on that. As well as parental dynamic and child-parent dynamic, favorite siblings. And so those were some of the prominent themes throughout these next 45 pages. And specifically today, I wanted to discuss the topic of education and what is written pages 207. So I'll read it out to you all. Okay, so it starts by saying this. An answer came to Katie. So Katie, in this case, is Francie's mother. It was so simple that a flash of astonishment that felt like pain shot through her head. Education. That was it. It was education that made the difference. Education would pull them out of the grim and dirt. Proof? Miss Jackson was educated. The McGarity wasn't. That wasn't Mary Rumley. Her mother had been telling her all those years. Only her mother did not have one clear word: education. Watching the children struggling up the stairs with their tree, listening to their voices, still so baby-like, she got these ideas about education. Francie is smart, she thought. She must go to high school and maybe beyond that. She's a learner and she'll be somebody someday. But when she gets educated, she will grow away from me. Why? She's growing away from me now. She does not love me the way the boy loves me. So she's referring to her son, in this case, Neely. I feel her turn away from me. She does not understand me. All she understands is that I don't understand her. Maybe when she gets education, she'll be ashamed of me, the way I talk, but she will have too much character to show it. Instead, she will try to make me different. She will come to me and try to make me live in a better way, and I'll be mean to her because I'll know she'll be above me. She'll figure out too much about things as she grows older. She'll get to know too much for her own happiness. She'll find out I don't love her as much as I love the boy. I cannot help that this is so, but she won't understand that. Sometimes I think she knows that now. Already, she's growing away from me. She will fight to get away soon. All right, so I'll stop there for now. So here I think something that's interesting is Katie's mom finally has this clear realization, and we kind of talked about this the first episode too, where she realizes that education is the key difference in someone's socioeconomic status. And this theme is true, right? Because if you think about it, the more you advance in education, you have better career opportunities, you're able to make better connections because you find yourself in certain social circles, certain elite spaces that someone who may not come from the same educational background or who may have not had that privilege to go through schooling or higher education might not have. So that is definitely something. My camera paused for a second, but I think I'm back. Okay, so that's definitely something to keep in mind in terms of access and opportunities that you have. Additionally, here, we also see that the mom worries that when her child become too educated and her mind will open up to the world, she will now start to see her mother as less than, see her as incompetent, become aware of her surroundings, the world around her. And so we see this interesting dichotomy here where the mother wants her child, Francie, to become very educated so that she can live a better life than her mother, Katie, is able to provide, and the impoverishment that her family comes from. And it's really that immigrant's dream of, I come to this country, my children will do better than me. At the same time, she feels that education will cause her daughter to resent her, to look down on her, and to know too much for her own good. And so we still see these ripples of education in today's society, right? Where if someone doesn't know too much about a particular subject and they're speaking on it, people deem them as ignorant. Or if you're in classrooms and someone knows more, depending on your humility level, some people can use it to educate, and some people can use it to brag and put people down. I've seen both situations. And so in this case, really, we see it as a key to kind of unlock certain wealth brackets in life, right? Because you have access to certain jobs that someone who may not be as educated will not get. And so this was the stark realization that her mother finally came to conclude. And I thought this was, in my opinion, the most interesting and poignant part of these couple of pages. We see here that as we read more, Francie is growing more. She's aware of the world. She's growing into this intelligent young woman. She's still reading a page of the Bible and a page of Shakespeare, which Mary Romilly, who is Katie's mother, recommended Katie do to her children if she wants them to be successful and wealthy in life. So we see that Francie is doing this. She's reading every day. She even, if you watch my last episode, the previous episode I made, she even convinced her father to switch her into a better school system, and they ended up forging their home address, which is illegal, in order for her to do this. And so to me, these were the most interesting parts in these couple of pages. Now, some vocabulary words that I thought the author made good use of. So I'll read them off. The first is surreptitiously, which means in a way that attempts to avoid notice or attention, secretively. Forfeited, which means to lose or be deprived of property or right or privilege as a penalty of wrongdoing. Eulogized, which means praised highly in speech or writing. Matinee, which is a performance in a theater or a showing that takes place during the daytime. Copiously means in large quantities. Okay, so those were some interesting words that I thought the author made good use of. So if there's anything that you found interesting from pages 181 to 225 that you want to make mention of, or you want us all to note or comment on, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below so we can all take a look. Thank you all so much for watching and for tuning in. Have a wonderful day. Peace.